This is a good one. Ah, he's a fighter. Look at that. He's just shooting off down the river. Better go after this guy. There, he's got him. There we go. He's coming right at me now. I'm using barbless hooks, so I got to keep a little bit of pressure on him. Yeah. Well, they like the annihilator here. You keep that thing high and dry and they'll catch him. This guy got a lot of fight him. There we go. There he is. Wild rainbow, looks like. Wild rainbow. You know, for little 11-inch trout, they sure fight hard, don't they? Boy, it's a gorgeous fish. Yeah. I'll calm him down a little bit. And there he goes. Woohoo! Middle Fork Boise River rainbow. Nice. The Middle Fork Boise River is arguably one of the finest freestone rivers we have in the Northwest. Certainly one of the better ones, or if not the best, in Idaho. Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike at Northwest School of Fly Fishing, the old fish hobo. And today, it's all about the Middle Fork of the Boise River. The Middle Fork of the Boise River is just east of Boise as the crow flies. Driving distance is about 2 hours. And how to get there, from Boise, you would probably drive up Lucky Peak through Arrow Rock Reservoir and into the river itself. And from that point on, you got about 64 miles or more of road and river, Freestone. Today, or when I was there, I drove over the mountain from the South Fork of the Boise River near Prairie, Idaho, and it's a longer drive. It's a little more scenic, and it takes you down across a bridge and then up the river to where I was staying. Now, the Middle Fork of the Boise River is an incredibly beautiful river. It's pine trees, and the road and the river are right next to each other, and you wind up the river. And from the confluence of where the North Fork meets the Middle Fork, from the confluence there, all the way down to where the river flows into Arrow Rock Reservoir, that's the lower part of the river, and that is open for any kind of fly fishing or any fishing, worm fishing, bait fishing. And that section right there, and that's where I was fishing, that section right there, you can find a place to stay there. There's a couple campgrounds along the way. You can camp along the river, but it fishes well down there too. And from the confluence of the North Fork and the Middle Fork all the way to Atlanta, Idaho is 54 miles of Freestone River and road. There are a couple campgrounds up there, but for the most part you can find dirt, find a place to camp. along the river. Very primitive, but you'll find hot springs along the river and places to swim, and of course the trout that live in them. Now, we just go to the Middle Fork of the Boise River. We go there to camp and enjoy those things, but primarily we're there to fly fish. And from the confluence up to Atlanta is artificial lures and flies, single barbless hook. So generally speaking, it's mostly fly fishermen up there, the few that you do see. And we're really after trout. And the trout there are cutthroat trout, rainbow trout. You'll find bull trout there, and in some cases you'll even see some brookies up in there. On the lower section where I was, below the confluence, you'll actually find smallmouth bass in there, and I know because I caught one. But they're not a lot in there, but they are in there. But that upper section is really the protected section, and it's wild fish only up in there. They don't plant fish in there. And that's where we really want to go and fly fish. And this river is just pool after pool after pool after pool. And really, as you're reading this river, you're really looking for those dark green areas of the river. Where you see those dark green areas, that's where you're going to see the highest concentration of fish. And I'm there using a 9-foot 4-weight dry fly rod because I like that 4-weight line and how light it is. I'm using a long leader, and I'm really dressing, or how shall I say, treating my fly line and my butt section of my leader with muclin or payette paste, which is kind of like a hard silicone. And you want your leader and you want your fly line jointly to float on the river. If they get wet, they'll sink and carry your line over. So you want to make sure that you keep your fly line and your butt section of your leader dressed. We don't put anything on the tippet section. And your leader itself, I like to use a long one there. You talk to other guys and they'll tell you everything opposite of what I do it. But I've been fishing that river for over 30 years, and the same flies I use, time after time, seem to catch the fish there. And the flies that I'm using there, they're all attractor flies. I use the annihilator. I use size 16 annihilators in oranges and yellows, and I use a size 16 or 14 stimulator. I like my flies to be small so that when the fish hit them, they're hitting something small, and I can set the hook easier. If I'm using these big flies, you'll miss the strike, pull it out. When a fish takes a smaller fly like that floats like a cork, they take it all, and when you set, you're getting all fish. So I like to keep those flies smaller, and the stimulators come in orange and yellows, or a combination of both. I do like to use, it's hopper season now. This is July, and there's a lot of hoppers up there, and I like to throw hoppers out there. And the hoppers that I prefer to use are what we call soft hoppers. And the opposite would be a hard hopper. And a hard hopper are hoppers that are made of foam or cork, or they have a lot of fluff on them, almost like a Chernobyl type wing. They've got a lot of stuff on them, and they got deer hair that's been wrapped and made hard. And when the fish hits that, it may hit a portion of it, or it may hit all of it, but the hook's not sticking. So what a soft hopper is it's soft. It doesn't have any of that stuff. It's designed to look like a hopper, but when the fish hits it, it just hits all of it, and it feels the hook immediately. So that's the kind of hopper that I use up there. And you can do a hopper, dropper, dry dropper if you want to. The nymphing is, it's not spectacular. Most of that fishing up there is pretty much dry fly fishing, but if you're a nymph fisherman, you'll catch them nymphing too. But that being said, in terms of flies and hatches, there are some hatches up there. You'll see not blue owls, but pale morning dun mayflies, and you'll see some pink Albert mayflies. But really, the one hatch that is it's going to happen when you're there, and that's the caddis hatch. And there, the caddis hatch is right around sunset, and the river will just all of a sudden explode with trout rising, and you can count on that. And for that particular hatch, if you're spending the night, you definitely want to be throwing out their caddis emergers, not elk hair caddis, or not a high floating adult caddis, but caddis emergers. And you can catch as many, or if not more, in that short period of time from sunset to dark than you will have all day. But by and by, what I like most about the Middle Fork is even though it's close proximity to Boise, Idaho, is it just has that wild feel out there. And if you're spending the night, the quiet nights, there's not a lot of people up there, and you'll find it early in the morning. As you drive home, you're fishing your way home. And that's kind of why I like to spend the night. Once I drive all the way in there and fish all the way evening, I certainly don't want to turn around and go home. I want to be able to get up in the morning and fish it all the way out. So it gives you a little pop-see of the Middle Fork Boise River. It's certainly one of the finest that we have, and if you've never really fished a Freestone River, the advice that I would give you is make sure you use a lot of fly float, a lot of liquid and a lot of dry shake. You want to make sure that your dry fly is floating on the mirror or on the surface, not in or under the surface. If you can keep your dry fly floating like that, you're going to have a good day on the river. So it's not too far to drive. It's a little rough road, but you'll get there. And if you're there and I'm lucky enough to see you, we'll shake hands and I'll give you all the information I have.